The concern about our national debt has been an issue for as long as I can remember. My first recollection of the term was in 1960 when President Kennedy mentioned our debt was $200 billion. Today our national debt is over $20 trillion, or 100 times more. Of all the problems we have, the debt is not among our top 5 concerns. National security, illegal immigration, lack of respect for life, and corruption are much more serious problems. Not to minimize the seriousness of the debt situation, but when our government spends money, it is put into the economy in the form of wages, goods, and services. I'm not a great fan of government spending, but at least the money is not put into a pile in the middle of the street and burned. The debt is a tool that must be controlled. That is why it's important to have our government run like a business. Government does only 3 things: provides infrastructure security and makes laws that are fair, truthful, sustainable, and have integrity. To run government like a business means tax dollars are put into those things that defer future expenses and not spent to buy votes. Today, over 70% of our annual budget goes to entitlement. That means $3 trillion of tax receipts, about $2 trillion is redistributed directly back to the people. Today, this concept of business management is ignored, with politicians never worried about things like debt, but only about getting through tomorrow and never about the long-term future. They will do or say almost anything to survive one day at a time and get reelected. Conservatives seem to be more concerned about the debt because they realize it's their money earned by doing things and making things for which people will pay, and realize that the debt will be inherited by the future generations if not addressed. Liberals seem to be less concerned because they feel it's everyone's money with a sense of entitlement based on their socialistic approach to government and life. They don't care if the burden will be put on the future generations because, like a trust baby, Dad, in this case Uncle Sam, is good for the money. The liberal elites know that our national net worth is over $150 trillion, with our national debt a mere 15% of that loan-to-value ratio. Banks will often make 80% loan-to-value ratio, so they feel the country is really good for the money. If there is a silver lining about our $22 trillion national debt, it's like a drunken sailor with a huge bar bill. Even the most spendthrifty individual should pause before running the bill any higher. The other point is, just think, if the debt were completely eliminated, one can only imagine the excitement of spendthrifty politicians who would gladly run it up again. The bottom line is, we will always have a national debt, but the government must control its spending like we all do our managing our households. The liberal agenda wants an inheritance tax to take your property when you die and not let your family have it. That's a form of class warfare. They want wealth redistribution because it gets votes from those who think people with money are not paying their fair share. They want to spend the national family jewels and be Santa Claus all year around. They feel it's fair and it's justified by their definition of economic justice. Our obligation is to teach this message in our schools, to our families, and to our loved ones. If we don't, the spendthrifty politician will preach their message of tax and spend while looking for more victims who wrongly think that we are a democracy and believe that they are entitled to more of your money. This is Keith Kuby wishing you the best in making the world a better place.